Peace, Hotep, Assalamu alaikum. Make sure that there's nothing crazy on that page. No, just I'll move that out of the way. Peace, Hotep, Uncle Jasaneb, Assalamu alaikum. What it do, black people? I'm going to be doing a video class today because I'm currently in class myself. But I'm going to do a class and by video. As you can see, I've got it queued up. It's going to be Let's Learn Python video number 9, creating text files. Excuse me. And if you are not creating text files yet in your solo learn, you are, and you've been with me for a while, then you are behind, and you should probably do a little bit more and catch up because that's not one of the modules that's far down the line. Thank you for those students who have been here with me for a while and who have moved through solo learn pretty quickly. I appreciate it. It makes it easier to teach and really more fun to learn for myself because as I learn this language and other languages, I'm able to come and teach it. And it's far easier and more enjoyable to teach it to people who are putting the time and attention into it to do it. Those of you who have not necessarily prioritized um, this coding class, I would like for you to do so. I want you to actually pass this class with a good grade, but I'm not giving away A's or B's or whatever, however we're going to grade it, for free. You got to actually do the work. I've done um, what I think is probably good. It could be a not so good thing, I guess, depending on the type of teacher that you are. But I've made all the assignments available. So those of you who have missed a bunch of assignments, you can actually go back and do those assignments. And if you're moving along through Solo Learn, these assignments are really easy. So hopefully you're able to do them and accomplish them and knock them out, get them done, and get this easy 100 that the coding class offers. If you put 1 hour a day into solo learn, this stuff is really easy. So I would like for you all to do that because I would like for you all to get a good grade. So this video class is gonna go real quick. I'm not going to go for too long. I just want to let you all know that the Raspberry assessments will be ending next week on the 8th, which is not this coming up Wednesday, but the following Wednesday. And at that point, I'll let all the parents know which students will need a Raspberry Pi, which ones will be basically going to the advanced portion of the class, and which ones will not need it, and at least not at that time. From that point, Amin Ra, Brenton, if you all put a lot of time and attention, you all are the two newest ones. If you all put a lot of time and attention into Solo Learn, you can really get to the Raspberry Pi portion pretty quickly. So I would encourage you to do that. It's going to be a lot of fun. If you don't know what the Raspberry Pi is, I'm sure somebody can fill you in. Or when I'm back on Wednesday, I'll fill you in. If you hit me up with the email, I can send you a couple of links for you to check it out. A lot of great stuff. So we're going to go ahead and check out a video. I got a couple of other things going on with coding that I think are going to be really cool, like late in the year, that I think are going to be really, really great. For those of you who enjoy the coding class, we're going to take it further. We're going to start doing some animation. We're going to start doing just a whole bunch of crazy stuff in the world of computer science, period, not just coding, but computer science as a whole. That's where we're at. We're going to listen to my man T-Pain here, watch his video called Let's Learn Python, hashtag number 9, which is just meaning video number 9, creating text files. Hopefully you're on text files because it's not a module that's really far along. So hopefully you're there. I'm Ryan Brenton. You all should be able to get there pretty quick if you put in an hour a day doing your solo learn. I think you'll be fine. And you'll catch up really quickly. So I think I've hit all the talking points that I want to hit. This class is going to be relatively short because at the end of this class, I want you to take some time and jump into your solo learn uh, and knock out some modules, knock out some lessons within those modules, and go from there. If understanding is a problem for anyone, make sure you can just hit me up on my email, or you can always listen to other videos on YouTube. YouTube is wonderful, and not just watching the videos, but then scrolling down and reading the comments. In the comments, people are asking questions, and the instructor for that video is answering those questions. When I was going through and doing these modules on YouTube, on the YouTube platform, that's what I would do. If I didn't understand something that the instructor was talking about, I would go to the comments. Somebody would have the same question that I had, and the instructor would answer it. There you go. This class is going to be short. Hopefully, this only takes about 15 minutes or so. I think I'm going to have you watch this one, and I might cue another one up if I think it'll be helpful, but we shall see. So here we go. Let's kick it off. My man T-Pain, tell him what to do.
Good morning, fellow programmers. Thanks for joining me. I'm T-Pain, and welcome to Let's Learn Python Scripting. Please feel free to use the skip ahead feature on the right-hand side to jump to any specific section or the examples. We'll be using Python 2.7.4. You can download it from python.org/getit. Today we'll be focusing on how to create.
I'm going to pause T-Pain there for a moment. I may actually let the next one play. He's going to be talking about unified modeling language, and I think that's going to be, it might be beyond some of you as far as where your knowledge base as far in Python, and it might be dead on for those of you who've been moving through at a pretty efficient clip. So we'll see. I may let the next one play, but no matter what happens at the end of the class, I want you all to be get going with your solo learn, get into that Python course, knock out a module or two. 1 hour a day will get you caught up. I have not. Oh, we don't need that right now. Let me knock that out. Get rid of that and go back there. That has something to do with my class I'm going to tomorrow morning, which I got to be up in like 5 hours for because it's like 12:30 right now and I'm recording this. But that's the life of a hustler. Hopefully you all will join me in the hustling journey. The next video may just go ahead and play. We'll see if this video, if you feel like you're not ready for this video, if it's just a little bit beyond you, it's a little bit advanced for where you are right now in your Python journey, then you can just cut this off and jump right to your solo learn and start knocking it out. Find a video here on YouTube that is where you need to be, that's teaching you what you need to know. Believe me, anything that is has to do with Python, you can find on YouTube. And then you can also go to some, Python has a few platforms. You can go there, and I don't know if you will find videos, but you will find a lot of text. You'll find a lot of documents that help as well. I would suggest doing both video and text. Don't get addicted to listening to other people speak. Just look at the words that people have written down, and you can gain a lot of knowledge that way too. Probably more knowledge than you would if you were watching the video. So, all right, T-Pain, take it away.
A simple script that'll create text files. This will build heavily on past lessons, so feel free to go back and review the Python basics section if anything is unclear. Alright, so creating a simple text file. Why do we want to do that? Well, it's a little known fact that text files actually give you the power to raise the undead. I know, right? No, not really. But it will give you the power to create other Python files, C, C++, HTML files, XML files, because they're all text-based files. This could be a way to create them easier, especially if there's tons of them that have a lot of the same code. You can use Python to create those files for you. Alright, so our goal today is to create a script that will create a text file with the name as the date, and then within the text file, it will have 30 blank lines. Alright, so without further ado, let's go ahead and get started. On my desktop, I've created a folder called Let's Learn. I'm going to open it up, and as you can see, it is completely empty. So within here is where I'm going to put all my work. So let's go ahead and open up idle. Okay, so here we are in idle. I'm going to go ahead and create a new window. Alright, so we're going to begin our file by creating a function. We're going to type def space create uppercase F file, and then in the parentheses, we're going to actually plug in dest. In parentheses, colon, enter. And what this is going to be doing is the name of our function is create file, and we're going to be passing in a destination or a string, which is going to be folder location. After that, we're going to type prints dest, enter, and then unindent, enter again, And now we're going to do something kind of strange. Bear with me. We're going to type if underscore underscore name underscore underscore is equal to, and that's an equal to check, so there's two equals, single quotation mark, underscore underscore main underscore underscore in the quotations, colon. Now, what this line is doing is saying, hey, if the file name is equal to main, or if this file is the main file that's being run, following that, we're going to go ahead and call the function that we created above. So type create file, open parentheses, type ham, because I love ham, and then close the parentheses and quotations, enter, and then we're going to end the file by typing in raw underscore input, open parentheses, open quotations, type done with a few exclamation points, in quotes, in parentheses, enter, save, and now we're going to choose the destination. We're going to go to desktop and go under let's learn, and we're going to name this create text file .py. Make sure you add on that .py, otherwise it will default to saving it as a .txt file, which is totally useless in this case. Alright, go ahead and click save. Alright, now let's go ahead and go to the file on your desktop. Mine's under Let's Learn, and double click the file and watch what happens. Now, in Windows, it opens up this command prompt. In Mac, I believe it'll open up the terminal. Otherwise, it may just open up idle and run it within there. So what's printed out is ham and then done. So we were just double checking to see that our script is actually working, that we didn't have any naming errors or anything like that. Cool. So let's move forward. So now we're going to begin the file by actually importing a few modules we'll need later on. So go ahead and go to the very beginning of the file, type enter to give yourself some space. Begin the file with import time as t. This import time is because I'm the doctor. That's a terrible joke. Terrible joke. Okay. So what we're doing with time is we're going to be using the date from this module to name our file. So that's why we need time. Next, we're going to type in from OS import path. And we're going to use path to double check that the file is not already created. So this way, if the script is called again after it's already been run once, we are not overriding on the text file that is already in existence. Next, we're going to begin with one of the most important steps of programming. We're going to type in the description. So in triple quotes right below the function definition, we're going to go ahead and type in the script creates a text file at the past in location, comma, names file based on date. That's good enough description. So we're going to go ahead and delete this line, this debug line that we had created, print dest. Delete that. And now we're going to begin with our main code. Next, we're going to type in date is equal to t.local time, open parentheses, t.time, open parentheses, close, both parentheses, enter. And what this line is saying is, hey, grab the time within this function is, hey, grab the current time and convert it to a usable format in a list. Next, we're going to type in name is equal to single quote %d underscore %d, and one more a third time, %d dot txt, end quote, and then we're going to type in %, then type parentheses, date, open bracket, 1, close bracket, comma, and then type date, open bracket 2, close bracket, and then type for a third one, date, open bracket, 0, close bracket, %, 100, close, and we're good. Alright, so what does this actually do? Well, we want the name of the file to be based on the date. And the way I've broken it up is it's going to type in month, day, year. I'm going to go ahead and make that a comment. File name is equal to month underscore day underscore year. Special note about the year though. I didn't want to have the full 1987 or 2013 in this case as the year. I actually wanted just the last 2 digits of the year. And so the way I did that was At the very end of this file, I used a %100, and what this says is what is the remainder if I were to continually divide this by 100. In other words, I just want to get the last 2 digits of the year. So type in enter a few times to give ourselves some space. And next, within the function, we're going to type in if not, open parentheses, path.isFile, open parentheses, dest plus name, close parentheses, colon, enter. And what this is saying is like, hey, if this file does not exist, let's go ahead and create the file. So next we're going to type in f equals open parentheses, dest plus name, comma, and then next we're going to type in single quotations, w in quotations, and parentheses. And what this will do is it will actually create the file in a writable format. That's what the W stands for. So next we're going to type in f.write, open quotations, and then single quotation, /n, in quotations, and then we're going to do something funky and go times 30, in quotations. And what this is saying is just write new line. This is the character for new line. \n is a new line, and write that 30 times. In most of the languages, this wouldn't work, but this is a great shortcut that Python provides, so that's one of the reasons I love it so much. And then we're going to go ahead and close out the file by typing f.close, open close parentheses, and that's it. Perfect. So we've now completed our definition for creating files. Now, at the very bottom of the file, we're going to go ahead and change this ham and substitute in the actual location of the file we want to use. So I'm going to go ahead and create another variable just to make this more readable, and type in destination is equal to, and then I'm going to paste in the location of this file. Copy there, paste it, and then I'm going to end this with a double backslash in the quotation. Perfect. And now I need to actually adjust this because a single backslash character is used to identify specific characters within Python strings. So we actually need to make, if we're going to create a backslash character, is just double them up upon each other. Now, if you notice this line runs on really long and we're getting cut off here on the end, what I'm going to do is I'm going to actually go to right after it says users, type in one more backslash to end up with 3, and then just type enter once. And what this says to Python is, hey, this string is now being broken up and is continued on the line below. Alright, and then we're going to replace ham with the variable we just created above, destination, save, and now we're going to go ahead and run it. And I'm going to double click on the file, and it says done. And now within the file, boom, we've created it based on the date. And if we go ahead and double click on that text file, we'll open it up. I use Sublime Edit as my primary text editor. And we can see we've created 31 lines. We started out with 1 line, as all files default with 1 line, and then we typed in enter 30 times, and then so we've got 31. Perfect. Great job. Alright, thank you so much for watching, and great job keeping up. Definitely take a few minutes to investigate these final challenges and see if you can solve them. I think you can. Please leave me a comment below to let me know if this helped you. Also, do me a huge favor and please subscribe to my channel. It would really mean a lot to me. Thank you for all your support and keep the dream alive.
Keep the dream alive. Okay, hopefully you all learned something there. Creating text files. That's going to be a pretty basic part of any kind of computer programming that you're going to be doing. You're always going to have to access files. You always need to know how to read a file, how to write to a file, how to open a file in binary. There's a lot of different things you can do with and to files, and you're going to need to be able to do those things because you're always going to be integrating text documents into any kind of web page or whatever it is you're going to be doing. So that's going to be a pretty basic one. Now that we have done that, I think I would like for you all, if you haven't broken off and started doing your solo learn just yet, I want you all to see the video that has to do with variables. Now, those of you who are way past like the first 2 modules, then this you don't even need to do this. I prefer you just go ahead and do solo learn, catch up on your assignments, do the very last one. I think out of 11 or 12 people who received the assignment, I think functional programming, I think only 4 turned them in. So we've got 8, somewhere between 6 or 8. It told me how many people still need to turn it in. If you can get to the functional programming module and then complete all of the lessons, do a screenshot of that lesson or of the, all the lessons there with the green check mark, and then upload it to your Dropbox, and then put the URL into the assignment box, and there you go. And then submit it. I'll be able to click on it and see what you've done, and then go ahead and give you that easy A and keep it pushing. I was going to make a new assignment, but because so many people are behind, and I'm in the midst of this Raspberry Pi assessment, I think the only assignment I'm going to post is going to be for the next module. I was going to do something a little more creative, but I got to make sure everybody knows the basics. So that's cool. That's what we'll end up doing. I'm going to show you the variable one now. Let's see what we got. I want to show you there it is. Bam.
You need a
Let's let this thing
website.
play.
Why not do it yourself? With Wix, you can create your own professional website.
There we go. Hold on, T-Pain. All right. Now, integers, floats, and math. This one is going to be pretty easy for those of you, like I said, who are further along. So if this is going to be something that's really beneath your knowledge base, go ahead and continue on with your Python course on Solo Learn. On to the next module, on to the next lesson, and keep it pushing. The only assignment that will be added is, like I said, the next module. So keep it rolling. I think we're at, how far along are we here? 22 minutes. A little longer than I thought. Okay, well, I'm going to go ahead and play this one. Again, if you don't need this, go ahead and go to your Solo Learn and keep it moving. Repetition is the mother of all skills. So I think I've said that about 15 times in 22 minutes. But still, if you haven't done it, do it. And so here we go. T-Pain's going to finish our class off here. After he's done, we'll be done. And that'll be all. So talk to you all in a bit. I will actually be on Wednesday. And I'm always available via email. So contact me if you need any assistance. Talk to you soon. I mean, I'm not gone yet, but the video is about to play. So, here we go.
Good morning and welcome to Let's Learn. This is T-Pain speaking, and I am going to be teaching you all about Python. And with this series of tutorials, I'm going to actually be covering a whole bunch of topics ranging from the very basics to advanced topics later on down the line. And what I want is for you to follow along with me and work with me as we do this, because that is how you're going to get the most out of this. First, I'll go through a whole bunch of theory and explain this to you, and then we'll start diving right in. So first of all, what is Python? Python is a flexible programming language. So why learn it? It can do so much. It's free. It works on Windows, Mac, Linux. You can build custom scripts for Maya, Motion Builder, Nuke. They all support it. You can go into game development with it. You can bind it to user interfaces for tool development. You can script everyday tasks for the web, for file organization, for Excel even if you wanted to. It has so much potential. It's easy to learn and it looks really good on your resume. Okay, so where you download it? You download it here on python.org/getit. So the version that we're going to be working with is 2.7.3, and you can find that below 3.3 right here, and it's free to download, and it plugs right into just about any platform you need. So where to get help? If you're ever at all struggling with Python, just start searching on Google with Python and then whatever your problem is, whether it be sine, you're looking for sines. Then boom, you can go into mathematical functions. There's tons of forums on Stack Overflow dedicated to Python. Look there. So after you download and install Python, you should install it in the main directory. The C drive was mine, and it's going to be right here under Python 2.7. And then if you want to, you can follow along with python.exe, which will open up the command line, or the terminal if you're on Mac. Or you can open up idle, which is what I'm going to be using. And it comes built right in when you install Python. Alright, so here we are in idle. So variables are containers for any kind of data. So I want you to type in var, V-A-R, equals 5. Enter. Okay? This is your way of assigning a variable. You type in first whatever you want to name it, then an equal sign, and then the value you wish to store. So if I type var, enter, it outputs 5, the value I have assigned to it. So now that value is bound to that variable. I can assign any number of types of variables, which we will get into later, but for now we're just going to work with integers. So I can name it anything I want, and it will stick. I can name in just a whole bunch of garbage like ASDF equals 5 equals 4, and if I punch in that again, that value will be spit back out. Now, this is where naming is very important. You want to be as explicit as possible with your naming. Meanwhile, like pay attention to the capitalization. For one of my preferences, and a preference I've seen for a lot of Python programmers, is variables start off lowercase for the first word and then capitalize the first letter of the next word. So if I were to type big foot, that's exactly how I type it. Lowercase big, uppercase F, and then lowercase ut equals 4. So I want you to type in big foot 4. It's a good practice to get into. And then type it again to make sure that the value is stuck. Be careful not to include any spaces in your variable names. So big foot could type in big space foot equals 5 or 35 or whatever, and you'll notice you get a syntax error. And what this means is that there's some sort of error that, like, in the way you typed it in, and the reason being is because I included that space in between big and foot. So go ahead and try that one more time. Big foot with a space in between equals 56, whatever. And you'll get that same error. So don't include spaces. Instead, just capitalize the first letter of every other word. So big foot equals 4. There we go. Excellent work. So we know that we can assign values with the equal sign. Now we can also reassign values with the equal sign. So I'm going to go ahead and say big capital F foot is equal to 7. And I'm going to type Bigfoot again. Go ahead and try that yourself. Type in big capital F ut Bigfoot is equal to 7, and then type it again. And you'll see that the value is reassigned. Alright, now we're going to begin on one of my favorite topics, math! So Python has a built-in math function that you can just punch right in. So let's type in 5 plus 5. What do you think is going to happen? 10! Good job. You guessed correctly. It actually will spit out the answer, depending on what it is. So I can do like 2 plus 4 or 4 plus 6, and it'll give me the answers. You can also do 4 minus, you can do the standard math operations. You can do multiplication, and it'll figure it out. I want you to try out a couple different math operations. The plus, the addition, subtraction, division, and multiplication. Star is for multiplication, so we can go 32 times 32. Enter. Try that. 32 divided by 32. Try that. Now, we're going to get into something that is very important. What I want you to do now is type in 3 divided by 2. What do you think is going to happen? Alright, 3 divided by 2, if you were to punch it into a calculator, would be 1.5. But here, it punched out 1. It returned a value of 1. Now what's going on is it's interpreting the values as integer values. Integers are simply numbers without decimal points. They're whole numbers. Floating values, or floating point values, are numbers that have a decimal point somewhere in the value. Thus the name floating point is the dot can be anywhere in the value. So go ahead and try that real quick. Type in 100.0, enter. And you'll see that it sticks out that 0.0 at the end. That's its way of saying, hey, I know this is a floating point value. Try just typing 100 now. And you'll see that there is no decimal point. Note that it maintains the 0.0 at the end of it. This is the difference between integers and floating points. So now let's try that 3 divided by 2 again. But this time we're going to go 3 divided by 2.0. Enter. And now we get the correct answer. This is the difference between integers and floating points. If Python is given one value that's a floating point, it'll convert everything else to a floating point, or it'll try its best. It's best to explicitly say it's a floating point by adding a 0.0 at the end of it if you can. Another way you can do that is we can actually punch in a explicit conversion of integers to floats. And the way you do that is you type float, parentheses, 3, close parentheses, divided by 2. And now it'll convert one of those values. It'll convert the 3 to a floating point value. And it'll stick. So try that. Try punching in float, parentheses, 5, close parentheses, divided by 4. Enter. And now we get 1.25, which is the correct answer. The same can be done in the reverse. So we typed in float, open close parentheses, to convert an integer or some value into a floating point value. Okay? So we can also do the same of converting a float back to an integer value using int, open close parentheses, with 3.0 inside. Type that. And now we have a integer value returned. So int, open close parentheses. So this is how you solve for rounding errors. Some other math operations you may want to know about is the remainder. And the way you use that is you type in 5 %, 4. So go ahead and type that in. Then press enter. So what this is saying is how much remains after I take out a whole bunch of number 4s out of 5. 1 remains. So another example of this would be like if I were to punch in 10 %, 5. Go ahead and type that in. And what you get out is 0 because 10 is divisible by 5. Go ahead and type 11 %5. And you'll be spit out 1. It's because 1 overflows. So the remainder is very useful for when you're doing loops and a number of other operations we'll do down the road. So next we're going to learn about powers. And my favorite way to assign power values is using ***. So we're going to type 12 ***2. Enter. And now we get 144. That's 12 squared because we just assigned the square value. And you can assign this for square roots as well. So I'm going to type in 16 **0.5. Go ahead and type that in. Press enter. So again, take note that it converts everything to a floating point value when a floating point value is passed in. So we get out 4.0, which is the square root of 16. Perfect. So back in algebra, you may have learned that you can use parentheses to close off specific parts of the algebra. The same works in programming. So if I type 5 times parentheses 5 plus 5, close parentheses, enter, it works the exact same. It adds the 2 5s first that are closed within the parentheses and then multiplies them by the other 5. And so we end up with 50. So it's 10 times 5 is 50. So parentheses work the exact same. So there's a number of other math functions that you can use, like the absolute value, sine value, cosine value, floor, ceiling, etc., from the math import section. All right, guys, great job keeping up today. You did an excellent work. All right, so here are some examples for you. I want you to discover for yourself what they actually do. A lot of the greatest programming comes out of curiosity, so be curious. If you like the video or have any questions, please leave me a comment. I'll be sure to get back to them when I can. Also, be sure to subscribe and check out my Facebook link below.
All right, awesome. Hopefully you all learned a lot in that video. Again, that was very basic stuff, things that we learned maybe 8 weeks ago. But I think that it's necessary for two new students, Rod and Brenton, and anyone who just hasn't progressed forward in the last forever. It's always good to go back to the basics again. If you didn't need that, hopefully you stopped this video and you just went right to your solo learn Python course, and whatever module you're on and whatever lesson you're on, you just went ahead and did that. Well, we're done here for today. That's what I would like for you all to do is go to your solo learn, click on your Python course, go to the module you're on, and knock out those lessons and continue on. And make sure you do functional programming and then send that to me in a screenshot. So that assignment can be complete and we can move on to the next one. The assignment that'll be due probably on Wednesday will just be the next module. So you all see that posted. Well, by the time you watch this video, it will have already been posted. So that's it. Let's get it. Let's keep it moving. Hopefully you all having a great Monday. And I look forward to talking to y'all again on Wednesday at the same time, 2:35 to 3:30. All right. Y'all have a good one. Peace. Hotep. Uncle Justin there. Assalamu alaikum. Peace.